All
right.
right.
I was rocking out.
Did it work? I guess it
It worked.
worked. I'm
I
hoping it
thought.
worked. Now
I
I
I
gotta
have it.
switch to comments. All right. And we have, well, what a
Beck.
better pair. Bex and Kyle.
Yep. And Annette's helping us stay from the start.
Yep, of course, as always. And oh, the number just dropped down to
What?
1. I guess nobody liked the video.
Nah. I said, go out of here.
Give it a minute. Let the notification go out.
Right. I know Alex
That usually
is.
takes a couple minutes.
Yep. Alex is over on Sherry with the aquarium therapy, and
Oh, nice.
he unfortunately he got the times mixed up, so he
It
was
happens.
all but like exactly it happened, but we
I don't
got.
get too I don't get too worried or stressed or anything about the numbers because there's always the replay crew.
You always
And
have me.
exactly, you know? Exactly.
Who needs all those schlubs? You got me. Oh wait, no, you please.
As long as I have Eric, I'm fine. You
Yeah, let
know?
me get my hair out of my face.
Exactly. Um Normally I would have EJ as a co-host also. She had to do some traveling today.
Right.
And Skipper, he may show up. Who knows?
Yeah.
He was doing something with his he was doing something with his firehouse today.
Nice.
So he's a little busy like that. And
Oh
there
man,
we go. We do have Annette here. Hello, Annette.
good muffin. Only because I have a muffin top.
Oh, is that what it is? Annette, I was able to play the video that you made, so thank you so much. I think it
Super
worked out
cool.
well. I'm excited to watch the replay to see how it loaded, if I did it right, because that was all kinds of pushing buttons, which they scare me. But thank you, Mystery Snail Guardians, Annette, for making that wonderful intro video. I love it. Eric was dancing, of course. Hello, Garcia Aquatics here. Thank you for joining us. And yep, notification must be going out because the numbers are climbing. We'll give everyone a second to get here.
Well, while we wait for people to get here,
Yes,
Scotty. First off, I'm a huge WWF or WWE now fan. So early 2000s, late 90s. So that's why I always call you Scotty Too Hottie, because he was one of my favorite wrestlers. Where he's kind of like me, a little flamboyant out there, getting it. But I am way more of.
I just call you Nutty. I don't call it
Nutty.
flamboyant. You're just downright nutty. That's all there is to it.
You damn squirrel. But I love Ric Flair and everything. But I did want to say thank you for all the nice things you have said about me in chat and on streams where I'm watching.
I mean, anyone who can do a proposal like you did to your wife, that's pretty damn amazing. I mean, what is there to it?
Well,
you're amazing.
I do not take credit for that at all, because I had to have read it or seen it in a movie or anything like that. I had to have, because it came to me like somehow, but my brain, I don't know. I don't think my brain is that creative enough to come up with something like that. But I also have to thank you so much for putting on the Clash. Like, this is my first fish event, and I am
really
so excited. And I've seen what it takes to put on a local swap and everything, and just the mind-bending craziness of that, and to put on a world-class event like the Clash is going to be. I cannot thank you enough for being the stress sponge of so many people, and just jumping on so many grenades and solving things like the if you guys aren't in the Discord, the aquatic aquascaping contest is coming up. So I signed up for that.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so excited. I get to aquascape.
It's gonna be a good time, and I never ever want to make it seem like it's just me, because it is a team effort. Right. I mean, it is members from both clubs and even additional clubs that help put it on. It's truly a team effort, and I'm just the person that's the annoying gnat in everyone's side, in everyone's ear, making sure exactly that they're doing what needs to be done to put on this show. But we do it for the number one reason is for the clubs, because it is a fundraiser for the clubs. We are not for profit. We do it to to raise money for the two clubs, because that's how they survive.
Right. Exactly.
And then also for the hobbyists. It's Aquashellas. They have like their level of thing, their concentration, and it's really vendor based. It's company based. It's commercial. And then there is, I think, something I've never been to it, but by the sounds of it, Kenny E and his club put on their Fishtoberfest on the other side of the country, and that sounds it sounds to be very similar to the Clash by the sounds of it. And then there's the saltwater events also, and we're trying to do a little bit more on the saltwater level, just to show appreciation for those hobbyists also. We want them to be able to come also, and there are also a lot of people that do both saltwater and freshwater. But I really appreciate you signing up for the aquascaping competition, and you've been registered for the event as a whole for quite some time now, and I appreciate it. And we're putting this on so that everyone can come and have a good time. That's what it's all about. The aquascaping competition it's going to be a good time. You're going to be working in a beautiful tank. It's about a 17 or 18 gallon rimless low iron tank.
What?
Yep.
That's
and it's gonna have, let me think here, an Oasi hang on the back filter, the new ones that just came out that they just released. It's gonna have a Higer light. And then we're working on the contents of that also. It's gonna be on a custom built stand that one of our committee members is doing. And then we have plants that are being donated for it. All kinds of stuff, and it's going to be pretty nice. The first place person gets to either take home the setup or the proceeds of it from the raffling of it, and then second and third place also gets an award, and all of the tanks from all the tanks other than the first place one, which is optional, get raffled off Saturday night as a fundraiser for the event.
And like a complete setup, right? So like
not the stand.
Not the stand, but the filter, the light,
the light, and everything. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, should I bring my own plants? I've never been in an aquascape competition before, so I don't know what's allowed or like. Hey, where'd you get that Rotala?
The only thing, which I gotta double check, but I think if you wanted to bring a fish or two for it, you could.
Okay.
But I'm working on that part.
Okay.
So, real quick, I want to go through some hellos here. Yeah. We already said hi to Annette and Kyle and Bex, and then we have Mr. V, because I can never say his name. Hello, Steven. Welcome.
Steven?
Oh, boy. Garcia is cooking something. We have Brookley Bell. Hello, speaking of aquascapers. And then we have the wonderful Crown Tail Half Moon. Hello. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I do want to make sure that I finish right on time at 8 o'clock, because Rico has his focus on, I believe, tonight with Jess. Who is it?
Yeah, Jess from
Metalheads.
Yes.
Jess from Metalheads. So I do got to keep an eye on the time also. Hello, Jimmy. Welcome.
And speaking of
Jess's, hello and welcome. So,
and Mr. Jimmy P, also a wonderful human being who compliments
he is amazing.
Way more than.
And he is going to be someone that I want to bring up on here also, because I believe he has a little history in the fish clubs also. And even if he doesn't, I'm pretty sure he appreciates them by the sounds of it, because he's a wonderful hobbyist. So that would be great. And also, before I forget, next Saturday, we're going to have Grant and Shelby from Garden of Eder on with us, talking about all of their clubs, I should say. Got to include Shelby.
Right.
So, Eric, what
Yep.
club are you a member of?
Members. I
Okay,
am a member of multiple clubs.
that's even better.
Motor City Aquarium Society
Mm-hmm.
and Michigan Cichlid Association.
Oh,
And oh my gosh, Southwest. I forgot the name of the other two, but Southwestern something of Michigan. I think Aquarium Society. And then we just made a new aquarium club here in
really?
Michigan, and I completely am in spacing on the name of it.
Wow. But still, that's amazing. And now,
Mhm.
so which is like your main one?
Main one, Michigan Cichlid Association is usually what I would, because I used to have breed and sell African cichlids. So,
Okay.
and it started off. I started back in the hobby, like back in the late thousands, early teens, late noughts. I don't know. back back in the teens, you see, because you think of like 1917, but whatchamacallit. So back then I would breed and sell Pseudotrophus demisoni. I know they're like Chindongo or something like that. It's changed. But or Demasoni. I would always say Demisoni because I'd never actually heard them spoken
Sounds
aloud.
like a cichlid.
Right. Demasoni. So I used to sell those and Labiotrophus. I would always call them from the ladies' man, Travassier, like
Hmm.
Travassier. Um, but I would sell those on the website, and I never really went to any of the meetings or anything like that. I just, kept because in order to sell on the website, you had to pay your membership dues and everything like that.
Okay.
So Michigan Cichlid Association is what I've been associated with a long time. So February 2020, I started back into the hobby like a month before the pandemic. So I immediately went to Michigan Cichlid Association and signed back up, you know,
Nice.
because I
Yeah.
had gotten out for building my family and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm getting back into it, selling fish, and I've started getting into more plants and community fish, South American fish. Still there's some cichlids that I still
Hmm.
keep, like discus angels, my dwarf pike cichlids, which I'm in love with right now, checkerboard cichlids, which I'm also in love with, and I'm going to cough, but I'm going to mute. Excuse me.
Hmm.
So whatchamacallit, Motor City Aquarium Society has always been, I've always known about it. I never really, again, I'm not very, a meetings person or anything like that
Okay.
until really, the pandemic happened, and now all the clubs are doing virtual meetings.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is amazing. So now I get to hear people talk and not totally have to go out there and you know be somewhere for a period of time
Right.
with people. Now I can just sit back and relax and watch it on my phone or here on my
Hmm.
computer. So I started, going to theirs, and I felt guilty because they were having these presentations for free. So I'm like, I'm not that jerk. Like I love, if somebody gives me knowledge, like I feel like I need to give something back to them. So I joined the Michigan Aquarium Society, the Southwestern. I don't know if it's Aquarium Society, Southwestern Michigan Aquarium Society, and then the new Aquarium Society that they actually just made here in 2022, and I forgot the name of it. And it's I don't want to say generic, but it's a very generic. That's like Michigan.
Okay.
It might be Detroit Aquarium Society, something generic like that. But my buddy just put it together.
Nice.
Um, I don't know if you guys know Josh Cunningham.
Yes.
He's an amazing YouTuber, fish keeper. Um, he's usually at the swap at in Sterling Heights that these new people just put together.
Right.
And I was talking to him and how they had to get the permits from the city,
Oh wow.
and they're doing it at a church and everything like
Hmm.
that, and they're cracking down because it was such a big, because they do it quarterly. So there's one in March, there's one in June, there's one in September, and then there's one in December. So the one in March, there was at least 50, 60 people lining up outside the door before 11 a.m. when they opened. And it's never like we had like 12 or 15. I say we like I'm a part of it. I'm not a part of it. I'm just friends with the people. So I didn't have anything to do. I was there.
That's all that matters.
Right.
That's all that matters.
So going in, and I love being the first in line. And I always try to tell my friend, like, hey, do you need help? Or I'm like, hey, I'm gonna help you unload your car, so that way you can get me in there, and I can go around and sneak peeks at everybody and see what I'm gonna do. But I usually am too lazy and I wake up too late, so I ran the march that it was just packed. I was there, I was first in line. I remember I was with my friend, and I turned around and like, there's like 50, 60 people, but he got in trouble because there were so many cars in the church parking lot. They couldn't handle it. So they started parking on the grass and everything. So church was so mad that there was ruts and everything in the grass and everything because it was March, you know.
Right.
So the grass is still here in Michigan is still, squishy.
Yeah.
So it's still thawed out. So there was big ruts in the yard and everything. So they had to deal with that and have signs. And then they had, print signs and pay for that to say, do not park here. Do not park here. If there's no parking, go around to the other side of the church and blah, 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 blah.
That's a huge turnout, though.
Yeah, it was.
That's a huge turnout.
So I was very excited for them.
So, which clubs do you currently go to in-person meetings at? Any of them?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think the last one I went to was I go to swaps and auctions all the time,
right?
But
so they don't do them at the meetings.
Yeah,
okay.
They do people can bring in things to bid on, like small items, like if you have like 6 convict cichlids or a bunch of plants or something you just want to give away, the club can auction off.
Oh, okay.
I really want to do that because I have a friend who has a small business selling fish, Top Gun Aquatics, Rich. And I'm just like, you know what? Here you go. Here's some angelfish I don't want. Oh, I got a bunch of apistogramma I bred. Here's 30 of them. Don't. He's like, oh, how much do you want from them? I'm like, don't even worry about it, dude. You're a small building business. Just go like that. So I really want to start doing that to the clubs where I have all this Valsneria. I have all this Ludwigia from Steven that's just going crazy in Pogostemon. That's 4 feet long. It's amazing, but.
Going to the club meetings, and I mean different clubs, and that's one of the main reasons I do this Saturday night stream is to highlight different clubs and how they operate. I know a lot of the clubs, at least all the clubs around me, and it sounds like some of the others, at their meetings, not only do they have a speaker, but they usually have an auction, and the club gets a percentage of the sales, and that helps keep the club going. Right. And I hear of people throwing away extra plants and stuff like that because they're overrun with it. But like you're saying, taking some Valsneria and extra juveniles and stuff like that to your local clubs to auction off, it helps. It really does. Today I was at the club picnic, and we had probably, I'm going to say about 150 to 100 different lots. And that's what it was. It was a bag of Valsneria, tons of Ludwigia, guppy grass, water sprite, water hyacinth, and people bring in bags of it, and it goes for, I don't know, $10 a bag sometimes. But the club gets $2, you get $8, and it's a win-win, and that's what it's all about.
And I would just donate it all back. Yeah, I would just donate it all back because it's not even worth it. Like you said, I'm probably just going to throw this all away because these stem plants grow, bananas. I have CO2 on my 75, so and Pogostemon in there, so it just, it sucks nitrates like a straw.
Yeah, that's good.
Bonkers. I know. I actually ran out of I mix my own fertilizers today, or I
Mm-hmm.
mix my own fertilizers, and I meant to today, but then my wife was like, "Oh, there's a new jungle gym over in the other city, so let's go." So I'm actually after this, I'm gonna change my water because I didn't fertilize today. So that's a
Uh-oh.
perfect day to water change
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
run out of fertilizer. Delay it a day
So
to
how
make it.
far away are the club meetings? Are they a far drive for you, or are they close by
No,
to you?
they're pretty close. Most of them are here. The three here in Metro Detroit. Only one. I live north of the city, north of Detroit, so only one of them meets downriver, south of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's in Taylor. But and then the other two meet, I believe, uh, in Sterling Heights, which is maybe 15 miles from me.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and then I forget where Michigan Cyclid Association. I think they're in a church in Madison Heights, which is not too far. I think it's like 10 miles away from me.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not too far. Again, being here in Michigan, I am blessed with having like really, before the pandemic, having the option to go to a fish club meeting every single weekend.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Every weekend of the month. It was, some the Southwestern, then it was mid Michigan. Oh, there's also a mid Michigan. Um, uh, I don't know if it's Cichlid Association or Cichlid Club, but there's also a mid Michigan Aquarium Club. I don't think I've gone to that much. I'm part of their Facebook group, but I've never
Hmm.
seen anything for like, hey, we're having this or doing that or anything like
Right.
that.
Right.
But the Michigan Cichlid Association does an auction bi-yearly. So there's a winter and then the summer
Oh, nice.
auction, and then the fish club that uh, just started does a swap quarterly, so every 4 months. But I did go to a fish club meeting like way back in like 2007 because I had gotten red top zebras to breed albino,
Hmm.
which I thought was like a huge, like my red top zebras, they spat albino babies. So I'm like, oh my god, I just discovered a new fish species. So my girlfriend at the time dragged her to this church basement in Madison. This is like, look at these babies, these red top zebras. I grew them up for a few months, and they're like, oh yeah, albino red tops. Those are, yeah, everybody's got the. It's
Wow.
nothing fancy or nothing new. And like they were super sweet about it and everything. And I'm like, does anybody want them? Because I don't like, because this was before I knew they were how generic they were. But I was just like,
Right.
I don't want to be able to be responsible for something like this rare. Like before I even knew. I'm a very naive person. I usually jump headfirst into things and then, clean up afterwards. So
Right. 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 Now, speaking of like rare fish and stuff like that, any of the clubs, or have you personally participated in any of the Breeders' Award programs or Horticulturist Award programs or anything like that?
I have not. I always have wanted to. I think one of the main things keeping me back is I feel I don't want to say limited, but I do feel limited, like confined. I feel confined when I only have 4 tanks.
Hmm.
Like I don't really have any fish that eat plants or anything like that. But like Breeders' Cup, I probably would never really like. I would want when I compete into something, I want to go balls to the wall,
Hell
just
yeah.
totally committed, like 50 tanks. Like, all right, I got guppies, swordtails, like all the live bears lined up. Like, okay, then we're gonna have a pistogrammas, and then we're gonna have just like go for a Breeders' Cup. Like, I'm a bird watcher, so when I did I did a big year for the county of Oakland County here in Michigan, and I set the record with 228 different species in a year. Because the year prior, I did all my research and went all around, found the good spots and everything like that. So if I was going to do a Breeders' Cup, and then the same thing with plants,
Hmm.
um, I feel like I would want like dedicated like plant farms, tanks, and everything. And I'm not talking like 55 low boys or anything like that, but just 10 gallons or 5 gallons, I could just plant the F out and just glug, 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 glug fertilizer. And, like no livestock, maybe snails or something like that, and just blast it with CO2 and just have a like a Fugal 3.0 over like 10 gallons, side by side, just like a 3-foot 3.0, and just blare it out and just have a plant farm going crazy. I would love to do that. Unfortunately,
Nice.
our house is tiny. It's super tiny. We got a 2-bedroom house thinking like, okay, we'll have a baby. And then
Yeah.
and then we have twins. And so now we're looking for a new house. We can sell our house like that. Like our
Yeah.
house for like 40 grand over what we purchased it.
Right.
So we just can't find a new place.
Right.
And if we do find a new place, they're like, yeah, so this person, it's great, but this person is offering cash and 20 grand over your offer, so we're gonna go with that.
I'm looking right now. I feel your pain. I'm
Not.
stuck in an apartment. I feel your pain.
So yeah, you exactly know how it's just like you can't get out. And it's like you want the housing market to be better, but you don't want the whole consequence of like the stock market crashing and people losing their jobs, and like, oh, this is why they have to sell their house because they can't afford it. Like, I'm a monster stealing someone's home. So it's and it's so frustrating too, because you find a place, you're like, okay, that's great. When can you move in? Like, oh, actually, we have to sell my house first. Like, I think it's consignment or something like that. I forget the name of it. My real estate agent was telling me the other day, but I think it's consignment. You gotta get on a consignment, and then everything like that. You got the person to agree to not, hey, I can't move in until I sell this place, and then I have to move all my stuff into your place. Is that okay? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think the prime time is going to be in the next 2 to 4 months, because it looks like it's getting ready to change quite a bit, the housing market, but you want to get in there before the interest rates start climbing back up too. But I think it's going to change a little bit better in the buyer's favor soon.
Yeah, when we purchased with an FHA 3 years ago, and we got our credit up way up because we were making all our payments and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we literally just called somebody like 3 months ago, like, okay, our credit scores are almost 800. Like, what can we do?
Right.
And it's like, you're probably going to be paying less with your current interest rate because like it's 5% now or something like that.
Right.
And we locked it in at 3%. And it's like, oh, God damn it. Now we actually got our credit up, and now we can't get another lower payment.
I want to, let's see here, say a couple hellos here. We got Dennis. Hello, sir. And then also we have, where'd he go? I saw it. Lefty's here somewhere. I lost his comment, but there he is. Oh, there it is. Hello, Lefty. And also, one thing here is Jimmy P is looking for a way to get in touch with you if if you're selling anything and shipping and stuff like that. Would you like to shed some light on that? And speaking of lighting, your lighting is a little dim there.
Oh, let me grab it real quick. Grab the light. Let me just adjust it. Oh yeah, all right. There we go. Is that better? Everybody see clearly now?
The world is so more clear.
The replay. They're just getting it now. I got it on the other side of my screen. Oh no.
Oh God.
I usually don't rewatch things because of stuff like that. But Jimmy, now that you really honed in and got...
Now that you're focused.
My email is on my FishFam link, fishfam.link webpage. If you want to email me, I'm not really selling anything right now, but I always have excess plants. I always have excess poke stemon, Ludwigia, Rotala, the stuff that Steven gave me. Like, it's growing bonkers. And my Vallisneria is finally taking off, where it's just shooting runners just every single day. I find like 2 or 3 new runners, and then those runners put off runners, and then those runners put off. It's awesome. Although I do have to rescape all of my tanks because I have. Kelly Foreman will be very disappointed in me. I layered my substrate. This is before I knew Kelly. So I have crushed coral, Eco Complete, and then sand. So the sand, I forget the law or whatever it's called, but bigger things will always rise
Yep.
above smaller. Like the smaller things will filter down through. Like if you have like a can of nuts and you want the macadamia nuts, just shake it or vibrate it.
Mm-hmm.
Like like all the macadamia nuts will rise to the top. Oh, I don't know what that is. So with my filter, the way it's blowing down, it's just pushing all the sand and vibrating it. Like so, it's just a layer of Eco Complete, and I have Corys in every single one of my tanks. And every single one of my tanks, this is happening in. So I'm just like, I have to pick a day where I just rip and replace everything. And
It'll be good practice for the Clash.
yeah, exactly. That's one of the things too. Is like if I could bring like I was thinking like, oh man, my live wood. Like I have a piece of wood in my 29 gallon, has moss, java fern, and Anubias already attached to it. And I'm
Oh
like, oh
wow.
my god, if I could bring that, but I don't know the rules. I have no idea. Like you said, you're gonna be providing everything, so no need to bring anything or anything like that. But GVP, if you want to email me and let me know whatever you want, I can give it to you.
And Bex here says that she layers her substrate, and Kelly still
Oh
loves
shoot!
her, so Kelly will still love you too.
Thank goodness. Ta-da!
And what's this? It's the same for Stephen P.
Mhm.
And also time to lift and move a 55.
Oof. Hopefully empty.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, so how long have you been a part of the clubs? I think you said since like the early 2000s.
Yes, I was a real big part of Michigan, and I don't want to say big part, but I utilized Michigan Cichlid Association's message boards a
Mm-hmm.
lot in the early 2000s on selling fish, getting fish too. A lot of people put great deals on there,
Yeah.
um, and I I mean, some friends on there, not really like. I don't talk to them anymore, so I don't. But I had, my homies that we'd trade fish back and forth, and oh god,
Eric, why don't you? He's talking about studs. Why don't you adjust
studs.
your
I'll
lighting
show him a
again?
stud. I'll show him a stud. We'll stud it up. We'll stud it up. That's a nose waggle.
Oh shit.
That's a nose waggle. That's a nose waggle.
Oh god. So oh, I can't. What would you say is one of your best memories of the clubs?
Clubs, really, I mean, I only really went to that one meeting. But what I really did like was the ability that people were selling. Like you could go there and be like, "Oh, there's this plant, these fish." Like people would bring stuff in, like you said, to auction off at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
meeting and everything like that. I love that because it's
Yeah.
like a mini. I love swaps and auctions. Like that's my what I love going to is so to be able to walk out of there and get something, I think I did win. Like they had a raffle too, and I won something. I think I won like a water vacuum, like
Oh, nice.
an off-brand um, Python, but like Acuon. But I donated right back because I'm like, I already have a Python. I don't need, need an extra one. Like keep it.
Right.
Oh, LOL. It's
Well,
so gross. Dude, I hope Jess is wearing them on the Focus. The Focus on. I really hope because Jess has a pair, Xanadu has a pair, and then I think somebody else does too. I don't remember, but Jess definitely. Hope that was it. I'll never tell.
oh
Figured out.
god.
Ah.
Oh. Yeah, well,
Oh
I
man.
think you're gonna like the Clash because Sunday's an all-day auction,
Hmm.
probably 500 to 900 lots in the
Mm-hmm.
auction. So some good opportunities there. Um, and there's going to be tons of raffles. The Fish Fam alone is doing a bunch of raffles. The Clash itself is doing a bunch of raffles. So lots of fun. It's a really good time.
Yeah, and
A really good time.
I don't want to come off as like antisocial, but I get very like a lot of social anxiety when I don't know anybody there. Like I said, like I drug my girlfriend along to show these rare fish that I had. But like to meet like you and Rico and just everybody else. Steven will be the first time I see Steven in person. I think Brooklyn's going. Bex, like, oh my gosh, Bex, don't even get me started. Kyle, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry if I say Kyle's name. I said his name, Kyle. Yeah,
and then Annette will be there. Shanna
Banana.
Shanna's coming. Patty.
Yeah, this is my first Fish Fam anything. Like I've never met any of the Fish Fam in person. I'm so excited. I'm getting so excited. I got my hotel room because you released a new block of rooms. And Annette,
got one also.
She poked me. She poked me and said, "Go get your rooms." I made Scotty get more. I released another block, so I got my rooms because I had gone on the website. I didn't go through the Keystone Clash website. If you
that's
want
how
rooms,
it's been. I would love to take credit for it, but I did not release any additional rooms.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't. I would if I could, but the Clash has a block of rooms reserved. And so if you go to the hotel's website, you're not going to get any.
None.
There are none. And we're probably down to 4 or 5, probably 4 rooms on our block that are available for the entire weekend. Now, if you do, like, you might be able to get around it by doing some individual reservations. So, like, go on the Keystone Clash website and reserve a room for Friday night. Then go back and reserve a room for Saturday night, and so forth and so on. You might be able to get a room that way. And they'll work with you to try to keep you in the same room, but you might have to change.
Robert. Boy. Yeah. Well, Robert, is welcome to my TED Talk, first off. To have Rico's face in your crotch, somewhere between exhilarating and despair, I would say, is the emotion.
Now, who else do we know that has these pants?
It's Jess Metalhead, and Xanadu got a signed pair, Super Jelly, but mine will be signed. Rico, I was telling Scotty I'm probably going to wear them Saturday, all day. I'll have a fanny pack. I'll have a fanny pack strategically placed, but you will be signing them. Your choice. Spot. No. Yeah. Just normal butt sign. Wear them backwards.
So
yeah, then I get to sit on Rico's face. Then I get to sit on Rico's face, which is just an added bonus.
Now, so what if you hug Jess? Is Rico going to be kissing himself?
No, there you go. Or Xanadu. Yeah.
Or Xanadu, right?
I don't think Josh. I don't think Josh wants to be anywhere near Jess. And I do not blame him.
Oh boy!
Just don't scare away customers. I'll have my leg up on Beck's booth. Hey guys, come check out this artwork. Oh God, run, sweetie, run!
Oh God!
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much fun. I cannot wait.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And it's like today at the club picnic we were talking, and it's like 6 weeks away.
Yeah,
like it's coming.
Yep, end of September.
It's coming.
Yeah, I'm super excited because this month is my end of my fiscal year for the end of the third quarter. It's not the end of the fiscal year, end of the fiscal quarter. So,
Right.
but it's still kind of a big quarter before fourth quarter. So that's why I was really upset that the Triple Crown was going on at this time
Right.
because it's like the last 2 weeks of any quarter or end of the fiscal year.
Yep.
It's all hands on deck. Everybody, try not to take vacation. Some hams in the family, by all means, take your time, but try not to schedule anything in this time because it's such a crunch. Get it done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in October too, like Oktoberfest, I'm super upset about too. Is the end of my fiscal year, so I'm gonna sign right across the S. So this is Reek. Oh, Stan. I'm scared with the man with the other man on his pants. Why does he have an older version of himself on his pants? That's where my wife was looking at the T-shirt. She was like, "If you grew your hair out, that'd be an older version of you." Like, yeah,
Now,
and it's funny because my brother
is the
does have long
family
hair.
coming with you?
No, they're gonna be staying here, so I'll have free reign. I won't
Oh.
have to wrangle anybody or anything like that. My wife actually next week is leaving Thursday, Friday, Saturday, coming home Sunday. She's taking a girls' weekend to Nashville. So
Oh
this is
wow.
yeah. So this is going to be my weekend, or that
Yep.
the equivalent of you know vice
I
versa.
went to
So,
Nashville for it was 2 days, and
mhm.
one of the best trips I've ever been on, and I can't wait. After I buy a house and I'm able to do some traveling again, I'm
Nice.
going to go back to Nashville. That was I want to go on the tractor that's towing the bar.
Oh
The
yeah.
I forget what it's called. Crap. It's a farm tractor. They drive through the streets of Nashville,
Hmm.
towing a hay wagon that's set up as a bar.
You just sit back there and drink.
Oh no, it's all dancing. It's
Oh,
dancing and drinking and being loud and obnoxious.
on a moving platform, you're dancing.
Minor
Let
details.
Hopefully it has pads on the sides. Like, oh no, somebody cut me off. Somebody
Yeah,
cut the tractor
exactly.
off.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've never been
Oh
to
boy.
Nashville, so my wife, I don't think she's been either. So she loves with a capital L country music with a passion.
Yes.
So I am not a huge fan. I'm not, I'm not. I don't dislike it. I don't love it. I'm very indifferent to country.
Hmm.
I guess you could say I don't like the honky tonk true, like that kind of uh country kind of annoys me, which Gina doesn't really listen to anyway. She's more like Luke Bryan, Eric Church,
Right.
kind of country and everything like that. So
This tractor thing I was talking about, that's what it is. It's they're blaring. They have like big speakers set up all around it, and like if you follow them on social media, it's of course on their first marketing purposes, but it's always like bachelorette parties on these wagons, dancing and drinking and singing and all of their posts. It's
mhm.
very entertaining. Um, but just walking down the streets of Nashville, you pick any random restaurant and or bar, and you go in, and there's live country music playing in there, and it's sometimes it's famous people, most of the time it's not, but a lot of times it's those people that do become famous.
Mhm.
So it's pretty cool to be able to say like, hey, I went to this bar 10 years ago and saw so and so playing.
Mhm.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I think
The
that
Zen
happened.
the Zen Ginger has joined us.
Zenny. I love Zenny. But yeah, my wife saw Florida Georgia Line like before they were famous. I saw White Stripes before they were famous.
Mm-hmm.
And I like a little Royal Oak bar here in Michigan because they
Mm-hmm.
were from the Metro Detroit area. And it was like right when they were getting famous, like they were just getting their songs like blared on the radio. And they're still playing this little tiny bar. Like people are just. I had won tickets from 89X over the radio. I won a radio contest, so I got
Nice.
to go in there and be up front stage. And Jack White was wasted. I mean, completely. You couldn't understand anything out of his mouth. Like just, he got booed off stage and everything. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do? You just got famous. You're probably gonna get wasted.
Right. Exactly.
So, Oh man.
I made a boo boo here. I gotta fix it.
Uh-oh.
It's almost like a deadly sin here. There we go. All better.
All better.
Oops.
Lefty. You got a bead on skull tonight.
There we go, Zen. All better, Zen. What was... Alright. Chat just jumped on me. Anyone got a bead on skull tonight?
I haven't seen skull. Skull Aquatics, I think.
Okay. Blue October. I haven't even heard of them. No, thank you, Zen. Zen is blue now.
Speaking of Blue October.
Yeah. How coincidental.
It's July, Zen. It's July.
Jeez.
But I have not seen Skull Aquatics all day. Usually Skull's like it's Saturday morning cartoons or Jimmy P.
Yeah. I hope he's all right.
Yeah. Curtis yes. is a great guy. He sent me stickers.
Amazing. Yeah.
From a bunch of fish tubers, which was super. He sent it to me twice. Like that's how awesome. He's like, oh, I forgot to include these. So he's a great guy.
All right. Well, I hate to cut this short, but
no,
work is calling my phone. They can wait a minute.
Yeah. Screw them. They just pay you.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the guards that reports to me, so that means something's happening. So, thank you, Eric. I really appreciate it. It was such a good time as I anticipated.
Bottom of my heart, Scotty. Bottom of my heart, thank you so much for you and your team for putting this clash together, to putting on an opportunity for me to meet some of the coolest people in the world. I just can't thank you enough, Scotty. Seriously. All the heartache, trouble, it's so appreciated by me that I wish I could suck it out and take it all away and just be flawless execution. But just know everything you do is for a purpose, and I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. As do everyone here.
I appreciate it. That's what it's all about, is having, people being there and having a good time. That's all I want. I want everybody to be there and have a good time. So, thank you, moderators. Thank you again to Annette, Mystery Snail Guardians, for making that amazing intro. Yep. And thank you again, Eric. I appreciate it. Everyone go over to Rico's channel and watch his Focus on.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Love you guys.